Hi everyone, I am Linanting Lasa. So in our subject in Gender and Society, we are assigned to discuss to you about men and masculinity. So let's dive in! So we have here our objectives. At the end of this module, you are expected to understand fully men studies and construct masculinity. The second one, we have here know fully the themes of masculinity and its relationship with well-being, fathering, domestic roles, and drug and alcohol use. And the last one, we have comprehend hegemonic protest and carrying masculinities. Okay, before we proceed to our main discussion, I will give you some short introduction about men and masculinities. So from the past studies, alam naman natin na ang mga lalaki ay itinuturing may isa sa mga pinaka-powerful na traits, Let's say for example, labor jobs. When we talk about families, isa sa mga pinakukunan talaga ng pansin ay ang mga lalaki. Kasi ang mga lalaki, parang nasa kanila ang kakayahan na magtrabaho, pwede ding mag-base tayo sa kanilang mga kakayahan. Diba? Sa kakayahan ng mga lalaki, yan po ang mga base sa studies ng past. Paniniwala or naaakit pa rin sa generation natin hanggang ngayon. So ano nga ba itong masculinity? It says here, masculinity, it is a set of attributes, behaviors, and roles associated. And when we say roles associated, ito yung kakayahan, with men and boys. So masculinity is the quality of manliness, habits, and traits that society considers to be appropriate for a man. Some typical traits of masculinity naman include physical strength, a muscular body, and facial hair. And in Latin root of masculinity is masculimus, meaning male, which comes from masculus or worthy of a male. In short, kung ano yung silbi ng isang lalaki. So sa ating binasa, ang masculinity, isang hanay or katangian, pag-uugali at tungkulin. Nag-uugnay sa mga lalaki, parang kino-consider ng ating environment kung ano dapat ang isang lalaki, Sabi dito, isa dapat sa mga katangian ng isang lalaki ay may lakas. It says here physical strength, muscular body. So dapat maskulado ka. At merong mga facial hair, buhok sa muka. So grabe, hindi lang pala roles or behavior, kundi dapat din sa physical na anyo ng isang lalaki. So one of the example is the traits traditionally viewed as masculine in Western society include strength, courage, independence, leadership, and assertiveness. So machismo is a form of masculinity that emphasizes power and is often associated with a disregard in consequences and responsibility. Okay, so this would be a great example in order daw for us to understand what masculinity, one of the traits traditionally sa Western society, which includes strength, courage, independence, leadership, and assertiveness. Ang mga lalaki kino-consider na malakas, matapang, independent. It says here dapat ang mga lalaki kaya nila maging mag-isa, At ang leadership ay para talaga sa mga lalaki and assertiveness. So now, let's proceed to the themes of masculinity. So we have the first one, we have the multiple masculinity. The second one, hierarchy and hegemony. The last one, collective masculinity. So the first one, we have multiple masculinity. Multiple masculinity, accordingly, there is no one pattern of masculinity that is found everywhere. Different cultures and different periods of history construct masculinity differently, and some cultures make heroes of soldiers and regard violence as the ultimate test of masculinity. Other cultures look at soldiering with disdain and regard violence as contempt unacceptable. Some countries regard homosexual sex as incompatible with true masculinity. Other countries think that no person can be a real man without having had homosexual relationship. So, sinasabi dito, no, sa ibang mga culture, hindi tinuturing na isang tunay na lalaki ang isang lalaki kapag nakipagrelasyon siya sa kapwa niya lalaki or tinatawag nating homosexual. Kaya 'di ba, hindi pwede maging isang sundalo, no, ang isang lalaki. Kasi alam naman natin ang sundalo malakas, matapang, independent kumpara sa gay, 'di ba? Ang gay mahinhin, matakutin, parang same lang din sa katangian ng isang babae. So 'yun. That is multiple masculinity. So the second one, we have the hierarchy and hegemony. So typically, some masculinities are more revered than others. Others may be dishonored. Homosexual masculinities in modern Western culture, others are even socially marginalized. The masculinities of disempowered ethnic minorities and others are even exemplary taken as symbolizing admired traits. The masculinities of sporting heroes, the form of masculinities which is culturally dominant in a given setting, is called hegemonic masculinity. So hegemonic signifies a position of cultural authority and leadership but not total dominance as other forms of masculinity persist alongside. So sabi dito, no, sa modern era, ginagalang talaga ang mga lalaki. Kasi syempre, sila yung powerful. Pero, meron ding mga ibang kalalakihan, hindi sila ginagalang or hindi sila nirerespeto. Ito na yung mga homosexual. It says here, parang panlipunang marginalized. Ibig sabihin, ang mga pagkalalaki ng mga disempowered na etnikong minorya, ang iba ay huwaran pa nga, 'di ba? Kinuha bilang simbolo ng mga hinahangang katangian, ibig sabihin ang mga pagkalalaki ng mga bayani sa palakasan. So ang hegemonic na pagkalalaki sa lipunang kanluranin ay nakasalalay sa heterosexuality, economic autonomy, kakayahang tustusan ang pamilya, pagiging makatwiran, pagiging matagumpay, pagpigil sa emosyon ng isang tao, at higit sa lahat, hindi paggawa ng anumang bagay na itinuturing na pambabae. Hegemonic male norm stress values tulad ng courage, aggression, autonomy, mastery, technological skill, adventure, toughness in mind and body. So the last one, we have collective masculinities gender. It is a structures of a society define particular patterns of conduct of individuals as either masculine or feminine. These patterns also exist as the collective level in institutions such as corporations, armies, governments, and even schools. Masculinities are also defined collectively in workplace, in informal groups like street gang. So, dito sa collective masculinity, ito ay tumutukoy sa particular na pattern ng pag-uugali ng mga individual bilang alinman sa panlalaki o panbabae. Ang pagkalalaki ay umiiral din ng hindi lang sa personal na kultura. So let's say for example, mga video game, halimbawa, ay nagpapakalat ng mga stereotype na larawan ng marahas na pagkalalaki. Meron ding sinihan or pinapalabas sa TV, karamihan mga lalaki talaga. Stereotype ng pagkalalaki gaya ng pag-abandona sa ama, pagkakating class, inaabuso yung asawa, 'di ba? Binubugbog yung asawa nila dahil drug addict, mga ganun. 'Di ba 'yan yung mga common na nakikita sa mga news. So karamihan sa mga ganung mga issues, kalalakihan talaga siya. So ito ay tinatawag na collective masculinity. That's all for my discussion. Now, let's call on Miss Angel Enriquez to discuss to you about masculinity's well-being.